I am Father Peter Bwanali. I am originally from Malawi. I joined the Society of Jesus in 1988, and after my formation in 1999 I was ordained a priest, and thereafter I went for further studies, a licentiate in theology and a doctoral program in philosophy. After I graduated, I taught at Marquette University for 1 year, during which time I did the program called Tertianship. That is a program during which we prepare for final vows. And after final vows, I was appointed by Father Covenbach, provincial of the Zambia-Malawi province. Therefore, being provincial was my first job in the Society of Jesus in this province of Zambia-Malawi. After 6 years in that term, I went for a short sabbatical, 3 months or so in Malawi, and then 6 months at Oxford, where I was studying scripture, especially the Gospel according to John. And then I went to work in Kasungu at our parish, where we are building a secondary school. And afterwards, I went to Fordham University in New York, where I was teaching philosophy for 1 year. I have since returned. Now I'm in my first year at the Zambia Catholic University, where I teach political economy and development, as well as introduction to philosophy. And the next semester, I'll be teaching history of economic thought. So being provincial was my first job. So it was a big challenge, but at the same time, it was a moment of humility, a humbling moment, because it meant that not only Father General, but members of the Society of Jesus in the Zambia-Malawi province trusted me and entrusted me with this responsibility. It was a big responsibility, but often I depended on the collaboration and on the goodwill of the number of Jesuits, many Jesuits in this province. I always prayed for patience, because sometimes I'm not as patient as I ought to be. I always prayed that the Lord somehow will come our way and help us. And the biggest challenge in this work was people getting old, the older ones, and getting old and sick. And sometimes I spent most of my time going to hospitals, visiting the Jesuits who were sick. So we're a province of extremes. Extremely old people in their 90s, extremely young people maybe in their 20s. And at that time, I was 42, I was like in the middle ground. I was the cutoff point. I had to relate with both groups. Another problem that we had, problem of finances. At the moment, we have the development office, whose main job is to see how to handle the material side of the running of a Jesuit province or Jesuit apostolates. At that time, I worked without a development officer. My treasurer and myself, we worked together looking for funds. I did spend a lot of my time raising funds, and I did spend a lot of my time wondering where the next money would come in order for us to train the young scholastics. Sometimes a scholastic came with brilliant ideas, but after I left my office, I was worried where I was going to get the money to send these young men to studies so that they can work well in the province later on. But at no point in the 6 years did I fail, or did we fail, to send anybody for studies because of lack of funds. Other Jesuit provinces always helped us, and sometimes they came at the very last minute when we thought we would fail. So I look at this as the providence of God at hand or at work, not only in me, but also in the whole province. So the collaboration that we got from lay people abroad who give these funds, the collaboration we got from the Irish province, from the California province, from the Slovenian provinces, and other provinces around, that collaboration was something that I much appreciated. And I saw really, truly, the hand of God in this, especially when I felt I was bailed out at the last minute after spending so many sleepless nights. The other problem, the other issue that we had to deal with in this province was simply the problem of the limitedness of personnel. because although we're 100 plus Jesuits, a good number of them were in formation and not ready yet to come for work, to come and work, because they were being prepared for future apostolate. So to change people around, to improve the province, this was difficult because of finances, because of lack of personnel. So my approach to this was always, let's forget about personnel, let's forget about finances, let's dream. What is our dream? And our dream is being realized now. We felt we should build a secondary school in Malawi. We felt we should build a new studio for Loyola Productions. These things are happening. We needed land in Livingstone for a villa. We are doing that. We thought there should be probably a tertiary center in Zambia, Malawi province. We are still doing the study, the feasibility study. Maybe it will come about, maybe it won't. But a number of things that we dreamt of actually started happening because we tried to put aside the issues of money and the issues of lack of personnel. So for me, that's how I worked. So yes, there were problems, there were difficulties, but there was a lot of collaboration, and I felt the hand of God in the work that I was doing.